Therapy is always so enlightening, and as many of you have firsthand experience with the situations we come across, you share great advice. Our writer this week says, "Help me, Rhonda. I feel like a failure in my job. I am only 3 months into my new EA role. The previous EA had been in the position for 20 years, and they had a great relationship. Only I'm failing. I'm sending emails and getting no responses. I've tried making appointments, reserving time in his schedule, Teams, IMs, and I get crickets. Tell me what I need to do to get the communication between us rolling." Signed, Failing and Scared. Now, many of you responded with encouragement to have a sit down meeting with your manager and to work out a plan. They send you all the courage that you will need to make it happen with or without an appointment. But be assertive and firm that what is happening right now isn't what you are used to. And together, you need to find a form of communicating that works for you both. They may not realize how frustrated you are and not see that from your perspective, your systems are failing. Trish Raftis from St. Thomas, Ontario, encourages you to share how you like to communicate and to find out what form of communication they prefer. Now, Lisa Partnan from Brisbane, Australia, takes it a step further and says to ask if they prefer brief, regular meetings or if they prefer communication through tools like OneNote, text, or email. Michelle Frame from Calgary, Alberta said that she needed to find unconventional times and places to interact with her boss, as she had a similar experience. She shared that later they laughed and called it stalking together. Michelle would see her boss go into the office kitchen to make a smoothie between meetings, and she would take her notebook of questions and topics and talk to him right there. She even grabbed her book and hustled down the sidewalk with him one day as he walked to his lunch squash game. Michelle said that she would grab any chance to catch him and even came in on early on days to ensure that she got him before his busy day started. I love the story she shared about leaving a sticky note on the middle of his monitor asking him a question. Marion Baddeley from Prince George, BC, shared that the tip that worked best for her was the once per day summary to her manager. Everything was in one email once per day. Once her manager knew that there was only one email coming from her per day, he prioritized it and the information into it. Now, personally, I like the once a day touch base thing too. A few people shared that they could get a standing 30-minute Monday morning meeting and review the calendar, the meetings, the upcoming travel. And some even got a 5 to 10 minute pop into the office, touch base, sort of stand in the door and say, "Hey, have you got a minute?" and do it that way. Now, knowing that you are working with a hybrid schedule, resist the temptation to work from home the days the boss is in the office. You need to build that relationship. And if that means you're in more than your minimum expectation, do it while you're developing this relationship. Jean Coco from Boston, Massachusetts shared that the learning curve for any new role is between 6 and 12 months. And since the past admin was there for 20 years, you both need to undergo an entirely new learning curve and give it time. From Stanford, Connecticut, Elizabeth White Peters advised you to network with the other EAs in your workplace and learn about their culture and get their advice. She also cautioned you to hold back from assuming that the EA was getting all the responses that you wanted. Maybe they weren't getting them too. Even though they worked together for a long time, you can't assume that it was all sunshine and roses. Vanessa Bauer from Edmonton, Alberta suggests that you take a workshop on different communication styles, not because there is a right or wrong, but to provide you some insight on different ways that you can approach your new boss. Now, above all, don't give up. Give it time. Talk about what you need. Ask them what they need. Not everyone communicates in the same way. So, assuming that you should be doing any one thing in a particular way will backfire. Find out the secrets of your new relationship and stick with it. It will be worth it. And thanks to everyone for another session of group therapy and great advice.